Hey guys, Elephone, that's a name a lot of you might connect negative experiences with, but the company is actually changing a lot recently, and that change started with the M series and is now being continued with the Elephone P9000 in an impressive way. And exactly this is the device we are going to have a very close look at right here and now. The Elephone P9000 arrived with me in this white box with round corners. Opening it reveals the P9000 in a plastic shell. Below we find the user manual as well as the USB Type-C cable. Removing the plastic shell uncovers a silicone bumper to protect the phone's rear. Something I don't quite get is why the P9000 doesn't come with a charger. You can of course use an existing USB charger, but in case you want to use Pump Express Plus, you have to buy the specific charger for about 15 bucks. Other accessories you can buy are a wireless charging station, a protection glass, and a flip cover with Smart View. The Elephone P9000 features a quite unique design language and nice build quality. The black version I've got comes with a back cover that has a sandstone look and feel to it, just like the OnePlus 2 for example, but it feels a little softer and not as scratchy. The handset's frame is made from aluminum, CNC crafted out of one piece of aircraft grade aluminum together with the chassis. This frame holds the screen glass and rear cover in place without a piece of plastic in between, which results in a rather sharp edge, that not being meant in a negative way. The frame itself looks matte, but its edges are polished to look glossy. The placement of the hardware buttons is very nice, both the feature button on the left as well as the power button and volume rocker on the right are placed in a way so that your fingers always rest on them, which makes hitting them much easier. The pressure point of course has been adjusted so that you don't press the buttons accidentally. Another nice detail about the Elephone P9000 is its size. You might not believe it, but despite boasting a 5.5-inch panel, the phone is just a little larger than a typical 5-inch phone. You don't believe it? Well, check out this comparison with the Xiaomi Redmi 3 and see for yourself. As you can see, this 5-incher is just a little smaller. The exact dimensions of the P9000, including buttons and camera, are 148 by 74.5 by 9.5 millimeters at a weight of 148 grams. There are a few details I don't like too much though. First of all, Elephone went for a combo SIM slot, which essentially means you have to decide between using a microSD card or dual SIM. Furthermore, the hardware buttons are loose. They are just moving a tiny bit, yet that's still a flaw. In addition to that, the status LED embedded into the home button can only light up in white color and isn't centered perfectly, which results in it looking like a semicircle instead of a full circle. The 5.5-inch screen of the Elephone P9000 is absolutely gorgeous and indeed is one of the best LCD panels I have seen on a smartphone to date. The LG-made panel offers intensely crisp colors, very nice black levels and a high contrast. Along the bright and even backlight, the contents almost pop out of the screen. It also offers stunning viewing angles and the display doesn't have any color tint of any kind. In my opinion, that screen is pretty much on par with the one inside the Xiaomi Mi Note. The touchscreen is working very nice as well, fast and precise with near to no input lag. The glass is very scratch proof. I dropped the phone several times already and so far there are no visible scratches. Even hitting the screen with my keys does not do anything to it, so feel free to use this phone without any screen protector. Something very nice as well are those comparably thin bezels around the screen. On the right and left they are just 2.3 millimeters, which indeed is more than the advertised 1.6 millimeters, yet still less than the bezels found on most other phones. Thanks to the Mediatek Helio P10, there also is an improved version of mirror vision, which now does not only optimize the contrast of the displayed contents on the fly, but also does the same to colors. The result is excellent outdoor readability even under direct sunlight and a generally much nicer viewing experience. The Elephone P9000 is indeed the very first available phone boasting Mediatek's new Helio P10 SoC. This is kind of an upgrade to the good old MT6752, which is situated somewhere in between the MT6752 and the Helio X10 in terms of performance. Now, some might be a little disappointed by this, but I think you shouldn't. You have to know that Mediatek didn't plan to build a significantly faster chip. Instead of this, they wanted to create a fast chip that is very energy efficient, and that is what they did. The newest version of Core Pilot and the Meili T860 MP2 GPU make up for a much better energy efficiency compared to the MT752. This is especially noticeable when playing games, since the battery charge does drop noticeably slower than with the MT6752. The reason for that is the GPU, which at minimally improved performance compared to the Meili T760 needs up to 45% less energy. In general, this also reduces the heat of the Helio P10. After playing some 3D games for a while, the maximum temperature measured directly on the SoC never exceeded 61 degrees Celsius, which is about 10 degrees Celsius less than on the MT752. Something very impressive is multitasking performance on the Elephone P9000. The handset comes with a whopping 4 GB of RAM, which reaches up to 6 GB per second and enables you to run 30 apps or more in the background. The internal 32 GB of memory do offer enough space for your apps and data, and if that still isn't enough for you, you can always use micro SD cards, but you have to pay for that with only single SIM support. The Elephone P9000 also offers a wide variety of sensors. Next to the typical stuff, you'll find a magnetic compass and also a gyroscope, the latter one being important for the use of VR glasses, for example. A bit disappointing is the Fingerprint Scanner performance on the P9000. Instead of the promised 0.3 seconds, it takes about 1 second for the phone to unlock, and it also often needs 2 or 3 tries until it finally unlocks. While this could also be a software issue and is not necessarily a sensor issue, so let's just wait if it will improve with future updates. Software-wise, the Elephone P9000 is up to date since it is running Android 6.0 Marshmallow already. The quality of the ROM is surprisingly nice and the system looks well optimized and pretty speedy. I haven't been able to spot any significant bugs or instabilities while testing the handset for more than a week. By the way, Elephone didn't change the UI of the system, so the P9000 is running stock Android with no pre-installed bloatware. The launcher you see here has been installed by me. In case you are interested, it is the Microsoft Arrow launcher, currently one of my favorites. The OS offers you various settings with lots of features that have been implemented by Elephone. You can choose among a wide variety of screen gestures, and there even is a flip to mute feature. You also can choose how you want to control the device. By default, you use the home button of the phone, which might seem kinda strange to some of you. Tapping it once means back, tapping it twice means home, holding it for a while opens the app switcher. Now, in case you don't like it, you can disable this button and enable the standard Android on-screen buttons, which gives you back the classic Android feel. Something that has been done a little strange is the feature button on the phone's left. This can only be configured to open specific applications, but not to trigger specific functionality. For example, using it as a shutter button or to activate flight mode. Now, this is something that Elephone need to improve as well with future updates. Also, the configuration of the fingerprint sensor is a bit strange. To set it up, you need to create a password first. You can not just set up a PIN code anymore, which is pretty strange since exactly that was possible with previous Elephones. Connectivity-wise, the Elephone P9000 offers quite a large amount of options. There is support for GSM, 3G and Cat6 LTE, including the FDD LTE band 20. There's dual band Wi-Fi 802.11 ABDN, Bluetooth 4.1, GPS, 8 GPS, GLONASS and even NFC, as well as a USB Type-C port, which unfortunately does not support USB 3.0. Reception quality has been very good during my tests, and I noticed that the phone managed to get 3G signals on places other phones struggle to do so. The Wi-Fi signal is very good as well, being on par with my MacBook Pro, reaching a signal strength of -57 dBm on the floor sub the router. Navigation using GPS is working just fine as well. Just while using tracking apps, I stumbled upon an issue with the speed. While walking, the GPS often displays a speed of 30 kilometers per hour, which of course is impossible and screws up the results of fitness tracking apps. So that's definitely a bug that needs to be fixed. The NFC antenna is located in the lower half of the phone and is large enough so you don't need to point precisely at the text you want to scan, which makes the whole procedure easier. Disappointing to me was the performance of the internal speaker. Unfortunately, there are no stereo speakers. Instead, you need to live with a crappy mono speaker that sounds very flat and distorts pretty quickly as soon as you pull the volume up. With headphones, however, the Elephone P9000 sounds very nice, since the Helio P10 now comes with the same audio solution found in the Helio X10. So in case you owned a Helio X10 device before, you know what to expect. Voice quality during calls is surprisingly nice. Even though I haven't been able to find any noise cancelling microphone on the device, calls sound perfectly understandable and quite clear on both ends, which is really nice in my opinion. Now let's talk camera, and guess what? Elephone screwed it up. Well, they did with the software, not the camera module. The module itself is pretty nice, coming with a 13 megapixel Sony IMX258 sensor and no faulty lenses. Yet pictures still look blurry most of the time. Shutter time is good, but focus time is slow, and the laser autofocus doesn't work yet as well. It just slows focusing down even more. Videos look blurry as well, and audio is near to not present. Now let me put that clear, this is not a hardware issue, so Elephone might be able to fix it. The final rollout will be April 5th, so they still have some time to go to fix all that. The 8 megapixel front camera is based on the OmniVision OV8858 sensor and takes pictures with 8 megapixels. Those look quite okay, but you definitely can't talk about a selfie cam. The battery inside the Elephone P9000 offers you a 3000 mAh capacity, which along the Helio P10 makes up for at least a day of battery life at heavy usage. On average, I managed to get a battery life of about 1.5 days. In Geekbench 3, the device reached a screen on time of a bit more than 6.5 hours at 40% screen brightness, which in my opinion isn't too bad. Something I love is Pump Express Plus fast charging. The fast charger definitely is worth the $15 investment, since it enables you to fully charge the device from 0% to 100% within 1 hour and 15 minutes, or from 20% to 100% in just 47 minutes. You shouldn't use the phone while doing so though, since it does get quite hot due to the voltage converters inside. QI wireless charging does work fine as well. Since the original Elephone wireless charger was missing on my package, I bought one from Amazon at only 10 euros. It takes about 2 hours to wirelessly charge the P9000 from 20 to 100%, and you don't need a special case for it, which is really nice. Well done, Elephone! With the P9000 you guys created a really attractive overall package that managed to impress me a few times. I really liked the build quality and that gorgeous display, which shows in which direction Elephone are heading now. At $269, the Elephone P9000, taking all its specs into account, indeed is a very attractive device, which makes it hard to find something similar for less money. But obviously there are some flaws that need to be fixed, most importantly the unoptimized camera. Now the upcoming weeks will tell us if Elephone will do exactly that. Till today Elephone only shipped 2 small batches of the P9000. General availability is scheduled for April 5th. Until then, Elephone has a lot of time to further improve the device and make future customers completely happy. Thumbs pressed, I would say. So that's all from my side. thank you for watching this video, and I hope you will be with me again on the next one. As usual, if you have any questions, drop a comment. The link to the shop as well as more information can be found in the video description. And if you like what we are doing at ChinaMobileMag/ChinaDevices.net, make sure to subscribe to this channel and pay us a visit on www.ChinaMobileMag.de and www.ChinaDevices.net. So that's all. Bye bye, over and out.